In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the color guide to help you color all of your work. The first thing we want to do, I guess, is start with a shape. And you can do that by, we can just, for this, start with a rectangle. It's the fourth tool down is the rectangle tool, and you can just drag out a shape. Right now, this shape, if we were to move it, we can see that it has a white fill and a black outline. And you can tell this because on the bottom of the tool panel right here, we see that this box, which represents the fill, is white, and this represents the outline, this other box, and it is black. Whichever one is in front is the one that will be impacted when you change things. So right now I'm going to change it to red. Well, we need to select the shape, and if I were to select blue right now, this was in front. This fill box was in front, so it got filled. Now the stroke, which is the outline, when you put that in front, then you can select an outline color, and if we click away, we can see that now we have a blue box with an orange stroke. So this is the swatches panel, and this lets you pick out colors, kind of like a box of crayons. It's just, it doesn't change much. You can add swatches to it, but these are the basic swatches, and this is a good place to start with your color choice. Let's say right now I want this to have no outline filled, and I'm going to put the fill box in front. We need to make sure that the object is selected when we make changes. So we can start off with a color here. Now what I'd really advise doing is if one of these colors isn't what you want, you can double click this box and then you get this color picker. And over here you can choose basically any color you can think of just by moving this around until you find something that you like. You can also go to color swatches. This gives you a lot more options than you have in the regular swatch panel here. Sometimes I find that this can be a little overwhelming. So instead, I would usually just go to color modes and pick a color here. I'm going to go with this teal because I like it. Right? So now I've picked my first color, and that's the first step in using the color guide, is having a first color. Now whatever color is over here will also be reflected in the color guide. By default, you usually see tints and shades. This over here lets you pick the options of what you're going to be seeing, and this lets you choose the color harmonies that you're going to see. Over here we see the color that's over here is the one that's on the top bar. This is the color that we have and its exact color opposite on the wheel. And now we see from shades to tints, the darks to the lights. We could switch it to complementary too. This will give us a bunch more options. If you wanted, you could do, whichever one looks the most appealing to you based on what you're trying to do. I think this will give us a nice set of options. So right now we have this right here, this box that we have. Now if I were to make another box, just by dragging it out, I can color that box here. And now these two boxes go pretty well together. We can try making another box and coloring it like that. And if you use the color guide, you're pretty much guaranteed that your colors will be harmonious. You can choose, you're not limited to using just one harmony even with this. You can, you can mix and match. You just want to make sure that the color that everything is being matched to is staying consistent. If you want to make sure that that does stay consistent, you can add this color to your swatches panel. Save colors as swatches. And so now what I've done is just saved that set of colors as swatches. I think you can also, let's say I wanted to save these as swatches. You can save these colors as swatches, and that way if you accidentally click away from it, like if you're in the color guide and you click this, you might accidentally, now you've lost that original panel. Now all of the colors in the color guide are going to be matching to this color rather than what you had in the first place. To get it back, you could just double click it and then click that, and then you'll be back to it. But that is why you might want to make this a swatch, so that way you can just return to it automatically. So these are the ways that you would use the color guide, by first starting with one color, and then you can use the color guide to color the rest of your objects accordingly with guaranteed harmonious colors.